beautiful people. My name is Frida, and today I want to show you how to do this makeup look. I'm trying some new products, and actually, this is the second time I put makeup on because the first time I was trying a new base makeup and it looked awful. So I would let you know about what did I use the first time and what I used the second time. So this looks like literally flawless. I'm using one of my favorite foundations ever. One of them for sure. It's just so pretty. I'm telling you about some old favorites and some new things that I have found that I love. So if you want to know what I put on my face and how did I put it, just keep on watching. To start, you can tell that I am starting to do the contouring. I already have my base makeup. I put the Makeup Forever HD stick foundation and I love that one. It's one of my favorites. And here I'm trying this NYX contour stick. I think it's a lovely product. It's not quite perfect in my opinion when it comes to how cool it has to be. You will later on see that I put the contour stick from Fenty Beauty in the color Amber, and it really does bring a lot more structure to the face. But I think it's a lovely product. Maybe for someone with a different skin tone, it might work better, but I prefer my contour to be a little bit more cool, you know? And if you want to skip to the part where I talk about the products a little bit more in depth, and I already have my makeup on, you can skip to 7:10. But while continuing explaining what I'm doing here, I'm just making sure that I follow the hollows of my face because I want to emphasize my bone structure. I don't want to change a lot of things. I think I don't need to at this moment on life, at the very least. And I think it looks, the most natural if you follow what you already have, because then it looks like it's supposed to be there. I used to make the mistake of making the lines a little bit too horizontally, if you will, of my contouring, and it didn't look bad, but once I really analyzed my face a little bit more and I tried to really follow the hollows of my face, I could see that the hollows of my face were a little bit different. And once I started to follow them with the contouring, it looked so much better and natural, and it looked harmonious with my face. Of course, I'm blending everything upwards so it doesn't look like I'm dragging my face down, but it's something to keep in mind. Maybe following something like that would be helpful for you too. And here you can tell that I'm putting some blush. This is one of my favorite blushes ever. This is from Honest Beauty on the color Peony Pink, and you can tell that I'm stamping the product and really working it into the skin. And I do place the color quite high up to the temples, and I do sometimes, quite often, put it on the eyes, and I even put it on my eye area because I haven't put concealer yet and I'm out of my favorite color corrector. I think it has been discontinued and I'm so sad about it, but hopefully I can find it later on. And that helped a little with the discoloration that I have under my eyes. And I wouldn't advise of doing this unless you have more of a normal to dry eye area, because you can get it's a cream blush. It's not supposed to put under the eyes. It can be too emollient for some people, and it was what I have available at the time, but it worked. And I put a different concealer, just a tiny bit on the nose, so I highlight a little bit of the bridge of my nose. And this concealer I try for the first time, and I wanted to give it a try because one of my favorite concealers ever is the Makeup Forever Prolongerer, I think is the name. Is the one that you get in a pump. And I heard that a lot of people were saying that this is a really similar concealer, but with a wand. So far I think they're quite similar, but I haven't tried them enough to
actually tell you how comparable they are, but I believe it is quite nice. And here you see me struggling putting this eye palette from Charlotte Tilbury, which is the luxury palette in Pillow Talk. And honestly, it was such a disappointment. You can tell that it has no pigment. I had to use my fingers to get a little bit of the color on because otherwise it wouldn't show at all. And honestly, I'm so sad because I love other Charlotte Tilbury products, but this was a disappointment to say the least. I somewhat managed to get some color and it was okay, but for the price, not at all. You will see that I go with another palette, which is the Pat McGrath palette, and I add some of those stunning um, eye glitters, and these are showstoppers. They always look fantastic, and although Pat McGrath palettes are super expensive, I never ever have regret buying her products. I do have to comment on the lipsticks though, because I recently had to put them in a bin with some of the makeup that I'm getting rid of because I felt like they expire super quickly. But when they were working, they were stunning. I just wish they had lasted a little bit longer. And I wanted to add that I did add a different like matte color shadow later on off camera to get more depth into my eyes, and I will link it down below what did I use in the description box, which is a stunning palette, but it was something that you could only get for a period of time because it was a special edition. So just letting you know about that. And here you can see that I'm putting on my eyebrows. I will link in the description down below everything that I use. I'm a little bit heavy-handed here, but I fix it out of camera.
Okay, so as you can tell, I am pretty much almost done. I even straightened my hair really quickly, and honestly, I would go out like this. I think it looks stunning. What I could achieve with the makeup that, I know works really good and well for me. I did add more highlighter from, I'm going to try to put a picture here or something like that. Hopefully you can find that product because it's somewhat old and it's from Makeup Forever, and I haven't seen Makeup Forever in my country for a few months now, so I don't know what happened, but it's just such a beautiful, as you can tell. It looks like the one that I put before was pretty, but this one is like another level. Like this is like stunning. Like, oh my god, give it to me. But it's a lot messier, so I wouldn't use that for every day. I would use that for going out when I'm have the time to, be more careful and open the lid, because it's a loose powder, it can get really messy. But this other one that I showed you from this quad, well, this is not a quad, from this, I don't know what's the name of this, where you have like one highlighter and one blush color. It's beautiful. The blush and the highlighter are beautiful, but this is quite old, so I don't know if they still carry this. I will try to link everything down below and tell you if it's available or if it's not. But something else that I wanted to try again was this Kevin Aucoin contour powder. I have been a fan of Kevin Aucoin since I was really young, since I started putting on makeup. So actually it was one of the first brands that I ever purchased, and I think it was the first brand that I ever purchased contour from. But it's quite hard to find. So after a few years of using some of their powders, um, I have one dog that literally messed up the palette that I have from them, which it was an all over face palette, which had like the candlelight highlighters. Like that was my favorite palette for every day, and it got ruined. I was really upset, but those things happens when you have a puppy, so it is what it is. And because I had some other things and it was not easily available for me, I didn't purchase anything from them for years. And now I was looking at so many different powders and contouring products. And as you can tell in my base makeup part where I was putting the cream products, I did mix up too because it's really hard, I think, to find the perfect contouring shade. I think, I use amber to give more depth in the contouring, like that coolness. But if I use too much of this, it looks fake, it looks too much. And this, it will have to be like in this same tone, but deeper for it to be the perfect shade for me, because this is better for people with lighter skin tones than me. So when I put the NYX one, which was underneath the amber stick from Fenty Beauty, it gave that color. So this is quite neutral, and I think for some people, from beginners, I think they would think that is really good, and it is really good. It's just that when I'm using contouring, I wanted to contour. I just don't want to have a little bit of color. I want contour. I want the structure, and what really makes a huge difference in, real life pictures, everything really is the undertone of the contour. So I'm really specific about it, and I acknowledge that I have an old, like medium light olive skin tone that is actually kind of cool tone, which is a really weird one. At least that's what makeup companies make me feel, because it's really hard to find things that actually match, and I have to overall make a blend of a lot of things so it kind of matches my skin tone. And I can go to my neck area, and of course this and this matches, but when I'm actually tan, um, and my hands get tanner, quite a bit more tan, even if I put sunscreen, because sun exposure and all of that, it can be a little bit tricky, so it's something to keep in mind, how I personally think I have to balance colors and undertones to make things look quite right. But I think I really, really, really like it. I think these two together work wonderfully. I think they were really pretty, and I really have this one. Adding, the NYX contour stick was not expensive at all. And I bought this one after I got the NYX one, not because I didn't like the NYX one on its own, but because I have seen a lot of makeup artists talk about how they layer products, and how they layer not only like, oh, you have different colors and textures, but more like, well, it's a different texture for sure, but different formulas, as if the cream and then the powder, but not only the translucent powder, but a color powder. And I was thinking about it, I was like, of course, I probably am going to like that, because I tend to prefer creams, cream contours, cream, based product than liquids, because I find them to be really good to work with. Like, they just blend so easily and seamlessly, and it's really difficult to find something that gets too heavy and you cannot work, make it work. Or, I find it just so user friendly, and the end result is just gorgeous. But I was, listening to Mario and a lot of other artists saying that, yeah, the way your makeup lasts even longer is that, well, you did the contouring and the bronzing and all of that on cream, but you go over it with powders, to different color powders. And I mean, I don't know if I can get the same result, because their technique is amazing too, but I thought, well, I love doing that with my blush. Why wouldn't I wanted to do that with my contouring? So it reminded me that I love Kevin O'Kwan. And funny enough, I found this on Amazon and it was sold by Amazon. So this has to be like the real deal. It came up in the box and all. Like, I was not like, oh, maybe it's fake or anything like that. No, it looked legit, like completely legit. And I have an eye for those things. And it even came with a tiny dust bag for the tiny powder. But honestly, I used it the other day, not under this makeup, but you know, something else, and it looked beautiful. So I want to try putting on a tiny bit. I'm going to put it on my brush, work it into my brush. I actually have the color Deep, which I normally will go for something a little bit lighter, but actually it's not too dark, this. So I don't know if this would work in people with actual deep skin, but it seems quite buildable. I will give it that. It's super buildable, so I don't need a lot, and it's just so pretty. Can you tell? And then I'm going just to blend it a tiny bit. Oh my god, those cheekbones are popping. And I just do the same thing where I blend. And I just stamp it a tiny bit. And yeah, then I go like this. Just be mindful of not moving the color downwards. Just, if you really want it upwards, 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 upwards. Oh my god. That's stunning. I approve. Oh my god. It looks like I have such a pretty cheekbones when I don't. Less fake model cheekbones. Yeah, I approve. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I did show you a lot of my favorite pink stuff, like this Charlotte Tilbury. This is Walk of Shame, is one of my favorites. As soon as I finish this one, I have to get a new one, even though it's quite expensive. I don't mind. It's so pretty to me that I don't care. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. So pretty. I love this makeup look. And what else did I try? I still love this. Probably going to be my favorites of the year. The thing that I hated, like hated guts, was this Dior Face and Body. I don't know if particularly today is quite dry. My face didn't feel particularly dry today. It was just, it normally is in this time of the year, normal to dry. You saw that I got a little bit oily later on when I was putting on makeup. I really don't know. I tried this once before, but it is true that I tried it in the end of the day, and for what I could tell, because it was like getting dark, I could tell like the color was just perfect, as I mentioned. I think this color might be just perfection for me on summer, which is as dark as I can get. But I don't know, guys. I feel like, well, I don't know if this will work then beautifully, and it's just like not working right now, or if it's always going to be an issue, because when I put this on, I could tell the color was really, really nice, like really, really nice. But let me tell you that I could see all my pores. I could see texture that I didn't even know I had, and my pores look even bigger than I think they are. Like, most likely I did, you know, edit that out of the video because I had to put this makeup 2 times, and it was quite annoying to say the least, but because it make everything look not really that nice. And I put something else on top and it was looking nice, but it felt a little bit heavy, and I was like, I was so annoyed by it. And then I tried to do the eyebrows and it was just a mess. So I'm going to give this one a try to mix with other stuff, and I'm going to try this on its own later, when the weather is a little bit more warm, because right now I feel like, because this is a dry foundation, everything gets emphasized. I felt like when you put like a mud mask and everything dries down and you start talking, and all of a sudden you can see like wrinkles, like if you were 80 or something like that, and it like that kind of a sentiment, but with pores and texture. And I was like, oh my god. So hopefully I can make this work in some kind of way. Hopefully this is amazing on summer, because on summer I actually do have like normal to oily skin, but right now not working at all. It got patchy, it got ugly. And I have seen this in people with dry skin too, and I don't think it looked bad. So I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if it's maybe because I live in a place that is particularly quite dry. So I don't know. I'm going to give it a try, because it's actually such a beautiful color for me when I get a little bit more sun. Like, as I mentioned before, I'm quite pale here. Not so much in my arms, but here I'm quite pale, and my legs are just super pale. It's just my arms. My arms get to be shown quite a bit more in the summer, and it just looks a little bit too pale when this gets a little bit tanner, and I can get tan super quickly. So it's not a matter of me getting a lot of sun exposure. It's more like I have a lot of melanin. I'm Latin, so of course I can change quite a bit between winter and summer, even though I use a lot of sunscreen. Lots of sunscreen. So yeah, hopefully I can make this one work out. And the eyebrows from Anastasia, I have to learn how to use this properly. I think the first time that I tried, I was like, I'm going to take my time and it's going to be fine. And it looked good when I tried it first, but I feel like I was using a spoolie that was already dirty, and I put just too much product into this spoolie. And I feel like when you're going to use this, you probably need like a fresh spoolie every single time. And it looked just weird. It looked like a mess. It looked white, and it looked like dirty, and it looked like I put soap on my brows, but not even good soap or anything like that. So I say that I can probably make this one work, because I already kind of did when I tried it first, and it looked really cool. But after putting on the makeup the first time and everything going wrong, I was like, I just don't have the time for something else to not work out, because I have other things to do. So I'm going to try this on my own a few times until I get the hang of it, and I would let you know later on how I feel about it. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the way I apply it and my tools. To be honest, I could have to try again, but I need to get a new brush cleanser. And I will let you know as soon as I can get one of those and clean my spoolies and all of that, because I feel like that was a big part of why this turned out to be so white. Okay, so yeah, I really did like the end result of this. So that will be all for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a good day. Bye.